Okay, hi guys. Let's get this show on the road. Thank you for joining us. This is a webinar, a specialized webinar. We're just going to be discussing 3D character animation, the courses that we offer here at the Vancouver Animation School. We're an online school. My special guest today is a past graduate, Ally Robertson. Say hi, Ally.
Hi there.
Okay, so first I'll start off with introducing myself. My name is Calvin LeDuc. I'm one of the computer animation instructors. I'm also the head of faculty for the Vancouver Animation School. Let me give you a bit of my background. From Canada, I grew up liking arts and films and comedy and comics, and I decided I wanted to study animation. So I went to college for a few years. I learned how to do traditional animation. There was no computer animation at that time. My first job was in Ottawa, working on the raccoons. And I only did about 3 episodes, and then they promoted me, and I went over to their other studio and worked on some Christmas specials, but I wanted to do better quality, so I quit and I went to Montreal and I did commercials for a year, and I wanted to do better quality, so I quit and I went to California to work on the first Alvin and the Chipmunk feature film. And at that time you found out about jobs by people telling you, or you read about it, and I saw an article in the paper that said Disney's going to do 40 style animation feature film. I got on a plane and I flew to London, England, and I did an interview, and I did a test actually as well, and Don Hahn, the producer, hired me to do Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I was there in London, England for a year working on that, and then I went to Germany in Munich, did a feature there for a year. Spielberg invited me back to London for another year to do American Tail 2. I did that. I really wanted to live in Southern California. Dale Baer hired me to work on commercials. He did the Toontown section of Roger Rabbit, and I was there for 3 years. Studio Animation House shut down. I then went to DreamQuest, did a Sony film for 6 months. Rick Rich hired me to finish off the first Swan Princess. Disney gave me a call and said, would you come and help us finish Pocahontas? And when Disney calls and offers you a job, the correct answer is yes. So I went back and worked for Disney for 10 years. Miko the Raccoon on Pocahontas. I did the gargoyles for Hunchback of Notre Dame. I did Pegasus the Winged Horse for Hercules. Herc. The gorilla for Tarzan. Mushu, the dragon, for Mulan, Yzma, the crazy old lady, from Emperor's New Groove, Long John Silver for Treasure Planet. And at that time they were shutting down, but they offered to retrain everybody in computer animation, so I took classes there. I learned rigging from the head of rigging, I learned modeling from their modelers. My friends who were supervisors and directors helped me with learning how to do computer animation, because it's very different, in my opinion, from traditional hand-drawn animation. First job with these new skills was down in San Diego, working for Sony on cinematics for a video game, the Neopets video game. Then I went to San Clemente, worked on a feature there for a year, and I decided to move my young family up here to Vancouver. I was the head of a school for 4 years, computer animation, and then I became a contract instructor for a few years, working for several different schools, and one of them was this Vancouver Animation School, which was just starting up. And I was teaching, I was helping a bit with curriculum development, I was recording some lessons. I then went back and did online, because we're an online school. We were actually the first online school here in Canada. I went down to Washington State, and I was a professor for 2 years, teaching computer animation, and my family was still up here, so I came back. And I was invited by Mario. He was nice enough to invite me to come back and work for the Vancouver Animation School again. I still teach computer animation for the school. I've worked professionally in the industry for over 20 years, and now I'm going on my 15th year as a teacher as well. If you want to see my credits and see that I actually exist as a person, go to IMDb. All right, so this is VANAS, as the students affectionately call us. It stands for the Vancouver Animation School. We have full accreditation. That means government approval. Students can get loans to take our courses. We have the Education Quality Assurance Certificate as well. You can see we started with just 2 courses, which were our strengths, which is computer animation and concept art. And we've been expanding. We're up to 12 courses now. The industry has requested that we add all these courses because they can't find enough people that have the qualifications. So we now have high-end visual effects, okay, video game design, right? Actually, not what does the car look like, what does the character look like, but how does the game play? That's what the industry needs. We offer that course. For animation, we've expanded to offer 2D computer animation. We have the most 2D and 3D computer animation in North America done in our city, Vancouver. So if you want to be here, or you are here, it's a great time.
Is that using After Effects?
No, they use, well, I call it Flash, but they call it Animate now from Adobe. They also use Toon Boom, and they also use for 3D, and that's television animation, Maya. And for those that want to take 3D character animation, we use Maya. Maya is the industry standard software, and it's free for students. If you have a year already of training in 2D or 3D animation, you can come and take, or more, or if you worked in the industry for over a year, you can come and take our short film course and make your own film, which is a great thing to have for publicity, for getting into studios, for winning cash prizes, career development course, and that's usually after you've taken already a diploma course, some at our school or somewhere else. And this is for learning how to put together your portfolio and your demo reel and how to interview. Very important. We have, I believe, the only
that course. It was really, really helpful.
Yes, yeah, that's why we offer it.
I still use the stuff that I learned from there today.
I highly recommend it, guys. It took me about 10 years to really learn how to successfully do an interview. He said, this stuff wasn't taught to me when I was in school. It's really important. Writing for animation. We have the only online writing for animation course that I know of. It's 3 months in duration. If you want to come up with a series idea and be able to pitch that to studios, to take writing for animation. I'm going to ask you some questions, and I'm going to, Ally, and I'm going to show some examples of students' work. First question, Ally, what artistic skills did you have before coming to the school?
For training, basically, I taught myself. I used a lot of YouTube, mostly Photoshop, Lightroom. I dabbled just a little bit in Maya just to check it out. But I knew that, if I wanted to get into animation, I would need to be properly trained, because there's so much out there, and you don't know whether somebody's teaching you properly or not, right? And I want to have that certificate so that, when I do apply for a job, boom, I have something to show for.
Well, definitely at that time, I would say we were an all-online school. And let me just make this one additional statement, guys. We've actually have what's called a combined course as well. So if you take any of our one-year diploma courses, you can, as a foreign student or a Canadian, come to Vancouver and attend the school 1 day a week, which is on Fridays. What did you like about us?
Well, mostly because
being an online school?
Online, and I'm able to do it at home. I don't have I didn't have to worry about, getting up, getting dressed, going to, get on a bus, go all the way down to Vancouver, come all the way back, all that stuff. It just really saved the headache, and it gave me the ability to focus more on what I was learning. And I really enjoyed that I was able to communicate with my teachers. Whereas, a lot of online courses, you can't actually deal one-on-one with a teacher. And so if you get stuck on something, they're always there to help you and answer your questions. And yeah.
Yeah, let me add some details there, because I haven't really gotten into explaining how our school operates. You get 2 live classes a week. The fact that you have 2 live classes a week means that you can ask your teacher questions in real time and get the answers right away. They're critiquing your work, reviewing it, telling you how to fix it in real time, and being able to demo it as well, what they can do to fix it or improve it. We also have additional courses that aren't mandatory, but or classes that you can attend. One is a tech support class, and so we have this wonderful guy, Herman, who will answer any question you have regarding Maya, your 3D software package. We also used to have a additional concept class, and sometimes we'll switch this around to what we want to be offering. Currently, it's coding. I'm going to show some examples, because that's important. People should see what students do. Ally, let's pull up your demo reel.
This is
you want to explain what they're seeing,
it's
Ally?
feature production that Arcana Studios did, and I did the animations in these scenes that you're seeing here. And it's with Maya.
What software were they working with?
Yeah. So I worked with Maya for that, and this here was some stuff that I did in school.
Right. Pantomime, walk cycles, extremely important to learn the basics, guys. So again, you did a dog for your animal animation. And I'm just going to stop this, because this is kind of a slightly different storybook that you did as well. I wanted to show some other student clips, guys. Here's some amazing pantomime, and that's what we do. We have these 4 terms. You're learning the principles in the first term to learn the basics, and then you're doing pantomime for the second term, and then you're starting to get into, well, locomotion in the second term, walks and runs and jumps and stuff like that. Third term is your pantomime, acting, and the 4th term is dialogue and, acting with 2 characters. Really nice stuff these guys are doing. This guy was actually a teacher when I first started here in Vancouver, and he came to our school to learn how to become an even better animator, which, it was really nice that we were able to help him out. Walks. We teach quadruped animation, and that's kind of a rarity. That's animal animation, guys. And most students don't know how to do it. Only like maybe 50% of the animation industry knows how to do animals. It's very challenging, so it's a great skill to have. And here's one of he's still going to our school, recent students, doing a tiger. Great job. I love seeing stuff like that. and this I think is going to be the last clip I'm going to show. This was from a mature student. It's just always great to see people, you know, they either want to shift what they already know and add to their talent, or they're pursuing their dream. And to me, that's what animation is about, you know. Do what you love doing, and it's not really a job. You're, you know, creating whole new worlds. Okay, so when you finished at VANAS, you said you came back and did that additional course,
Actually,
right?
I ended up doing
Ally?
it a couple months before the end of my course because I knew I would. Yeah, and it was the
So,
first
while you were
time you
still at
guys
the
ever
school.
did it, and so I wanted to jump in while while I was still in school, so that when I finished, I would have that in my toolbox.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's the reason that we offered this course, career development, and it's being taught by someone that's in human resources at a studio. You know, this is what he does for a living, is hiring people. So he really knows how to do the interviewing and preparing portfolios. Did you find it was helpful when you went out there to get a job, Ally?
Basically, they teach you a lot about the questions to look for, to answer, to be prepared for. They let you know what a lot of different studios do during their interviews. So I was able to prepare that way. And also, you do a lot of research during this course so that you can know who is in the industry, who you have that it's available to apply for.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up making an Excel sheet with a spreadsheet of all the studios, and I made, you know, lines so that, or columns so that I knew if I applied there, what date, when to follow up, et cetera, et cetera. So, and I still use it. So, yeah.
No, it's super, all important stuff. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you have to target the industry, guys. If you want to work on video games, you got to know what video game companies exist. You got to know what type of games they make. What's their history? What are they going to be doing in the future? You know, if you like to do a certain type of game, you want to be applying at a studio that does that game. If they don't make that game, then your demo reel won't appeal to them, right? There's many different categories. Animation is television, it's commercials, it's computer games, it's feature films, you know, advertising. They use it for legal cases, medical films,
real estate.
show examples. Oh yeah, I mean, for legal cases, you know, they want to show how two cars entered an intersection. They use computer animation now. It's a really big industry. There's games on different platforms. They make games for phones now, right? Different levels, different skill levels, guys. Direct to video feature films, right? Educational animation. So there's a lot of different categories that you can switch between. It's all very helpful. So I'm just going to go up here quickly. And if you look under our resources when you're on the first homepage for VANAS, under admissions, actually, you can go down and check out our scholarships. I always recommend everybody that wants to apply for a diploma course to check out the scholarships that we have, you know, and apply for a scholarship. And there's also scholarship requirements of what, you know, right here, scholarship requirements, what you have to submit. And it says here, you're submitting sketches or digital artwork or animation, five examples. You know, we want to see what kind of skill level you have, what ability, what training digitally do you have, or traditional. Both are important, right? Do you know how to draw? Do you know how to paint? Do you know how to design or animate or, sculpting, photographs? It's all art, guys. All right, so I'm actually going to start taking questions. And you can join in with me, Ally, okay? All right. Anybody has a question can type. Just going to scroll down and see if I missed any questions. Can I increase my volume a little bit? Okay. Diploma program sounds quite interesting. The combined. Yeah, we've got students, and the great thing about it, it truly is combined, because it doesn't matter what course you're in, you can attend that. I talk about how to get a job. I talk about what it's like to work in the industry. Generally, the way we start it is the students come in, we look at their work for the previous week, and I troubleshoot, I critique, I listen to how the week went, give them suggestions. We have people from different courses. We have a 2D student, 2D animation, 3D animation, and a computer modeler. And they're able to offer ideas on what to do. The computer modeler is helping out with a student that's working on a short film, making some of the assets, the environment, some of the costuming. It's a great idea. We're covering some animation history, traditional, computer. I just finished up on talking about the history of video games. In the next term, well, currently, just for a few weeks, they've been staying at home, but as of the next term, which starts up in July, they're going to be coming back into the school, and everybody's expressed an interest in learning how to do some maquette modeling, which to me sounds kind of interesting. I've always loved teaching that. Again, regarding a portfolio, take a 1-month intro course, pass it, and that serves as your portfolio to get into any of our diploma courses.
There's more questions if you scroll down.
Yep.
Alina, I can answer yours. How easy was it to find a job in a studio after graduation? I found a job in my first 3 months. It takes a little bit of work. You have to make sure that you're applying to the jobs, send out your resume, make sure that you have a resume that's ready and that your profile or your portfolio is published online, so they only have to click a link. If they have to download something to look at it, they probably won't. So, make sure that your links work, and just keep plugging.
Yeah. I mean, you're also learning about how to be a professional. Networking, which means going out and meeting people. Not just when you don't have a job, but when you do have a job. You attend animation festivals, you go to conventions, you go to exhibits, you go to screenings, you go to lunch with people. You hang out with the people in the industry, because these are the people that are going to recommend you for your next job. The majority of my jobs, guys, I got from people recommending me. Right? It was only that first job that I really had to go show my stuff, and they said, yes, you have the skills we need, and they got hired. But after that, it really becomes, oh yeah, I met this guy, and he puts in a good word for me to get into the school. One of the people I was working with at the first school, I was the head of computer animation here. I helped him to retrain from 2D to 3D animation, and just so happened that he was a good friend of the owner. So, could you recommend me? And that's what it's all about, guys. You have to have a great reputation. You have to really work hard and meet as many people as you can, and word of mouth is a big part of the industry. Would you agree, Ally, or
really
am I
is.
just making stuff up?
There's a lot of groups out there too, like locally, that you can meet up with. There's one in Vancouver that meets once a month. Well, not right now, but it used to meet once a month downtown at a local bar, and you could have pizza and a beer and chit chat with other people in the industry, which is, really great thing to do.
Mm-hmm. Do I have to go into a university to get a job at an animation studio? Definitely not. Nobody looks at your grades for a job in the animation industry, whether you're doing backgrounds or effects or animation. Did anybody ask for your grades, Ally, when you got your jobs?
There were a few positions I applied for that did ask in the questionnaire, what your GPA was. Yeah.
They want to know if you went to a school, whether you're just self-taught, and you can make a lot of mistakes if you're just self-taught too, guys. By going and learning from professionals. All our instructors are working in the industry; they are professionals. Really, the only advantage you have of going to a university and getting a degree is you have a piece of paper, and it usually takes you 4 years just for a BA or BFA or something, and but you have to have a master's to become a teacher at a university. That's the only purpose of having a degree. Nobody requires it to work in an animation studio.
Your portfolio.
It's really about what's on your portfolio demo reel. Yeah, that's what they're looking for. Can you do the job? Do you have the skills? Give me a second here, guys. Do you have to go? No, as a high school student, who'd be taking a few courses, benefit my college application. How would taking a few courses benefit my college application? Not really certain how to answer that question. We're an online school, so I can tell you this. The benefits of it are for people that are currently working because you need money, because you like to eat and pay rent and stuff like that. And the benefits is you don't have to go to a school for 8 hours plus a day, every day, right? We're online, so you can take our course from anywhere in the world. Even myself, I had to travel 2 hours down to the city to go to school, and I had to rent a place, and you had to, buy your own food and do your own cooking and do your own laundry. Being able to, stay with your folks or not travel by just doing it all online, and you're paying for plane tickets because students come from around the world to go to schools, and you want to go back on vacations. Costs a fortune. The cost of gas, the time it takes. There's none of that travel time. It's your equipment using free software, and it's great. When I did my training for my online BA, I was working full time. And I was able to come home, and in the evening, you watch at any time the recorded videos. Watch them as often as you want. You do the work for the assignment anytime you want, and as long as you upload it by the end of the week, right? It's all great. Regarding when the class is offered, we find out where the students are, and then we book an appropriate time, whether it's morning class or afternoon or evening. In terms of is it a benefit taking a course? It's always a benefit. Education is never wasted. Everything you learn, you'll be able to apply in the future at some point. Yes, and I was talking about this. We, as of the last couple terms, have now what's called a combined class. And so on Fridays, you can come to school. Well, you have to come if you're in the combined class and attend your class at the school. Time of demo reel is best for a 3D animator to show in a studio. I would imagine a demo reel that has 3D animation on it. You have to show your drawing ability. They don't really want to know if you can draw like Michelangelo, because you're doing life drawing. They want to know if you can do good life drawing, you can draw anything. That's really why they want to know. And humans are the most complex thing to draw. If you can draw people well, again, you can draw anything, and it helps with your posing, it helps with your acting, your layouts, your compositions, facial features, emotions, just goes on and on. It's not just humans. Animals, again, I love working with animals, right? Animating them. I own a couple dogs. I grew up in the country for a lot of my life and surrounded by a lot of animals. And if you know the structure and how they move, it all helps with animation.
As for the type of demo reel, you kind of want to add some of your best work up front, and then also near the end. So, put your lesser work kind of in the middle-ish.
Yeah. You're giving away trade secrets there, Ally. Attend the class. It's like, can you? Can I go more in depth about the short film course? Okay, well, the short film course, again, you have to have a minimum of 1 year of training. And, we again have to approve, because you could have gone somewhere for a year and not learned anything or not done any work. So we have to approve your skill level as being proficient, a good animator in either 2D or 3D animation. And then you're coming and taking our short film course for a year. In the first term, each term is 3 months long, you're coming up with your story and your storyboards. In the second term, you're coming up with your and a 2D animatic for that first term as well. You're switching the 2D animatic to a 3D animatic. You're coming up with the proxy, the rough environments, the characters. You're just doing the animation layout, and you're starting a little bit of blocking. In the third term, you're switching all the blocking of your animation to full animation, and the final term is post. You're going ahead and you're adding textures, you're adding lighting, you're adding titles, credits. You're looking for where to submit it for festivals. Myself, I never talked about that, but I made a short film when I was in college. I highly recommend it. You learn a lot of different skills. And it was a wonderful piece to have. When it's finished, it's always finished. And I screened it once at a festival, out of competition, and we got a distributor. Guy came up to me, and they sold our film for years. We made money on it. We won festivals. We were screened across Canada with a Chevy Chase Fletch film. We won competitions where we won thousands of dollars. We were put in the archives in Ottawa. Again, I want to start wrapping this up. I really want to thank you, Ally, for taking time out on Saturday. Okay. Hope to see you guys in the future. really research the schools that you are thinking about going to. You know, find out where their teachers are from. Find out if they've actually worked. You know, there's a lot of schools where they've never worked. Contact the school. You know, ask at vanas.ca for information about prices on courses, guys, start dates, how to apply, all that stuff. And again, I'm getting ready to say bye-bye. So long. See
Thanks,
ya.
Calvin. You take
Thanks
care
for
of yourself
coming.
now.
Okay.